Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultan of Oman television. First, the headlines. The GCC Country Summit concludes its works in Riyadh by stressing enhancement of joint Gulf cooperation and role of Council states in Arab and international cases. Sultan's Armed Forces celebrate Armed Forces Day and graduate a new batch of officers in Sultan Qaboos Navy Academy. As delegated by His Majesty the Sultan, His Highness Sayyid Haytham bin Tariq Al Said initiates the launch of the journey to cross the empty quota from city of Salalah. And State Council Office discusses in its meeting a State General Budget for the fiscal year 2016 and the 9th Five-Year Development Plan. Those are the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos sent cable greetings to His Excellency President George Mark Kibore of Burkina Faso on his country's National Day. Leaders of the Gulf Cooperation Council countries today in Riyadh concluded the works of the 36th Summit of the Supreme Council, at which, on behalf of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Highness Sayyid Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Said, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, took part. His Excellency Dr. Abdul Latif bin Rashid Al Zayani, Secretary General of the Gulf Cooperation Council, read the final communique of the 36th Summit of the Supreme Council. More details in the following report, read by Huda bint Nasr Al-Jahwariya.
Stemming from the belief of the importance of the Gulf Cooperation Council countries in strengthening concepts of integration in all economic, political, social, military and security fields on the way to unity, as it was stated by the basic system of the GCC, which was enacted by the founders 35 years ago, and in strengthening the accelerating role in serving main issues of concern to the Council countries and the citizens, and the view of Custodian of the two Holy Mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, clarifies enhancement of integrity of the Council countries, which was agreed on by the GCC leaders in this summit, the priorities of the joint action during the next year. After the elapse of 13 years for establishing customs union, it became necessary to conclude the transitional period within the year 2016. It had been agreed to finalize requirements of the customs union, including facilitating and speeding up procedures of customs posts among the Council countries prior to their cancellations, completing the special treatment of GCC citizens and their families in all intra-posts. It had been agreed during next year to finalize steps of implementing the Gulf market by giving full equality in treatment for all citizens of the Council countries in all economic fields. And in order to secure rights of the citizens, it had been agreed to form a judiciary authority to be implemented during the next year. In order to maximize benefits of citizens from the business sector, it had been agreed to speed up completion of legislative economic system, including issuing unified commercial law, competition law and anti-commercial fraud and others. The Secretary General of the Gulf Cooperation Council will practice greater institutional function. In environmental protection, it will exchange experiences among the Council countries and with regional and international organizations, proposing policies and decisions related to protection of marine environments of the Council countries, dealing with desertification, lack of underground water, climate change. The Secretariat General will also coordinate with related bodies in the Council countries to monitor spread of epidemics, to coordinate efforts of consumer protection associations and the concerned bodies in the Council countries. It will also cooperate with universities to set up academic programs designated to study and develop integration experiences of the Council countries. It will also coordinate works of all Gulf establishments, organizations or the Gulf office, which will also help to rationalize spending and prevent duplicating and to guarantee coordination of the Gulf bodies prior to them merging them in the joint work. It also had been agreed to speed implementation of the Supreme Council's decisions and procedures of approval of systems, laws and agreements approved by the Council to be implemented at the time set by the Council for the benefit of the Gulf citizens from integration steps. The Gulf Cooperation Council countries also emphasized in the final communiqué issued by this summit the firm stance towards Arab and international issues and determination to continue to support brothers in regaining their security, stability, and to confront challenges the Arab region is exposed to. The Council confirms its unlimited support for the Palestinian cause and the rights of the Palestinians on their independent state, as well as support for the Palestinians towards repressive actions exercised by Israel and refusing Israeli measures in Al-Quds. In Yemen, the Council countries emphasized their concern to achieve security and stability under the leadership of its legitimate government, and it supports a political solution as per the Gulf Initiative, an outcome of national dialogue for Yemen to be able to overcome its crisis. And therefore, the Council countries called for convening an international conference for reconstruction of Yemen after the Yemeni parties reach the desired solution, and to put the practical program to rehabilitate Yemen's economy and to facilitate its integration with Gulf economy. The Council countries also voiced support for political resolution in Syria to guarantee the unity of Syrian lands in line with principles of Geneva I, and the Council countries welcomed the results of Vienna Conference of Concerned Parties. It also emphasized that the world countries have joint responsibility in fighting extremism, terrorism, and abolishing them whatever the source might be. The Council countries have exerted a lot towards that and will continue its efforts in coordination with brotherly and friendly countries in this regard, emphasizing that terrorism has no religion and Islamic religion is rejecting it, as Islam is a religion of moderation and tolerance.
The custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, asked His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa of the Kingdom of Bahrain to deliver his speech. We say that on his behalf and on behalf of the citizens of the Kingdom of Bahrain, and that he's honored to invite them to convene the next summit of the Supreme Council of the Gulf Cooperation Council countries in the Kingdom of Bahrain, in order to continue serious discussions in all changes of the importance to societies and that would achieve aspirations of the citizens for prosperous future and advancement. He also voiced thanks to the GCC Secretary General, his assistants and personnel of the Secretariat General for their tangible efforts. Then custodian of the two holy mosques thanked their Majesties and Highnesses for participating in the summit, wishing them safe return, and thanked all those who contributed in making this summit a success, and announced the conclusion of the 36th summit. As delegated by His Majesty Sultan Qaboos bin Said Haytham bin Tariq Al Said initiated the launch of the journey to cross the empty quota in Salalah today, and comes as part of the Sultan's celebration of the 45th Glorious National Day. In launching the journey, Said Haytham expressed his sincere wishes of success to the explorers, bidding them farewell and a safe journey, wishing the journey all the success in achieving its noble goals. Said Haytham also commended the courage of the explorers in undertaking this difficult challenge across the sands of the empty quota, whilst also thanking Mark Evans, CEO of Outward Bound Oman, the organizing agency, and all those who had worked so hard to make the journey a reality for almost 2 years. This journey comes in recognition of the significance of the history journey that first took place in 1930. It also comes within the context of the long-standing and brotherly ties between the member countries of the Gulf Cooperation Council, as well as the friendship and cooperation between Oman and the United Kingdom. The Royal Army of Oman celebrated Armed Forces Day, which falls on December 11th. The ceremony held at shooting grounds of Sultan's Armed Forces Training Regiment reflected development and modernization reached by the Royal Army of Oman of the organization, training, qualification and arming. The ceremony was presided over by His Excellency Sheikh Khalid bin Umar Al Marhoon, Minister of Civil Service. The event included pinning long service and good conduct medals on a number of army affiliates. Music band also put up shows and various displays. The Infantry Brigade put up a fight show reflected training skills and experiences of the affiliates. The 11th Infantry Brigade and Firqa Forces of Royal Army of Oman held a ceremony on the occasion of Armed Forces Day in the Governorate of Dhofar. The ceremony was presided over by His Excellency Abdulaziz bin Mohammed Al Rawaz, advisor to His Majesty the Sultan for Cultural Affairs. The celebration began by chanting national anthem. After that, recruits of the Infantry Brigade performed various military displays like marching in slow motion and shooting with artilleries. The celebration of armed forces is considered a valued occasion to renew loyalty and allegiance to the builder of the Omani Renaissance. Royal Air Force of Oman celebrated today Armed Forces Day at Al Sib Air Base in the Governorate of Muscat. The celebration included a show of aircraft weapons and air equipment affiliated to Royal Air Force of Oman. It was presided over by His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdullah Al-Hinai, State's Advisor. At the beginning of the ceremony, the parade column performed various shows like slow motion march accompanied by Royal Army of Oman musical band. After that, the parachute team affiliated to Royal Air Force of Oman presented a free fall show. The exhibition was held on the occasion, which included aircraft weapons and air equipment of the Royal Air Force of Oman. The celebration came to highlight development witnessed by RAFO under the wise leadership of His Majesty the Sultan, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces. Royal Navy of Oman celebrated Armed Forces Day and the graduates of a new batch of officers at the premises of Sultan Qaboos Naval Academy. The ceremony was presided over by His Excellency Sheikh Saud bin Sulaiman Al-Nabhani, advisor of the state. The graduates performed a slow march accompanied by the RNO music band. The graduation ceremony coincides with the Armed Forces Day and Retirees Day. The celebration came to highlight the development witnessed by the RNO fleet under the wise leadership of His Majesty the Sultan, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces. Discussing reports of the projects of General State Budget for the fiscal year 2016 and 9th Five-Year Development Plan 2016 to 2020 topped the discussions of the State Council Office meeting today. The office reviewed also the evaluation of first and second regular sessions of the first annual round of the 6th term. The meetings were chaired by His Excellency Dr. Yahya bin Mahfoud Al-Mandri, Chairman of the State Council. Still to come in our news bulletin. Male and female students from schools of the Wilayat of Al Sib in the Governorate of Muscat celebrated the 45th Glorious National Day. Welcome back to the news from the Sultan of Oman television. Government continues to invest in drilling and exploration in the oil and gas sector by launching many strategic projects to maximize the sector's contribution to the economy during the course of the next five-year plan, according to His Excellency Dr. Mohammed bin Hamad Al-Rumhi, Minister of Oil and Gas. In his statement, His Excellency Minister of Oil and Gas said on the approach of the ministry in the implementation of important projects in cooperation with oil majors operating in the Sultanate is to add value and on projects aimed at boosting employment and training. He said the ministry gives great care to the welfare of the youth. He added that the expected expenditure of the government program for oil and gas exploration by 2015 stands at about 407.1 million Omani Riyals. He also said that the cost of the gas purchase during the 8th five-year plan stood at about 305 million Omani Riyals. The expected actual spending for the transportation of gas paid by Oman Gas Company by the end of 2015 will be about 164.8 million Omani Riyals. Singaporean audience enjoyed the Omani night held at the Sultan Mosque near Muscat Street in Singapore. A number of poetic and religious performances were presented portraying messages of Islam such as tolerance, forgiveness, cordiality and honesty. The Message of Islam exhibition stresses that freedom, peace and stability cannot be achieved except by dialogue and understanding. Under the auspices of His Highness Sayyid Muhanna bin Asad bin Taimur Al Said, in the presence of Her Excellency Sayyida Dr. Noor bint Badr Al Busaidiya, Children and Parents Open Day was organized by the Omani Diabetes Association. More details in the following reports by Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rubai.
Under the theme, Together We Protect the Society from Diabetes, a function was held this morning in the form of an open day for children and parents who participated on the occasion of the World Diabetes Day organized by Oman Diabetes Association. During the function, there were assigned areas for free screening, area for nutrition and health awareness station, consultations with diabetes specialists, as well as activities for children and adults where all are involved with the special attention on their condition that allow one and all to participate in various sports activities scattered around the club. These activities were accompanied with the healthy cooking classes for mothers and all. Beside these, the cartoon characters were held with competition and prizes. Some of the kids have presented their talents to all and were appreciated. It is worth mentioning that children, regardless if they have type 1 diabetes, need to be active. Teaching the importance of exercise and physical activity early on will form healthy habits that will serve the child well into adulthood. But physical activity also impacts blood glucose, blood sugar levels, and as parents, they need to know how to respond to these changes. Children participating in sports independently from their parent should prepare for know how to recognize the signs and symptoms of hypoglycemia and should always have glucose within easy access. Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rubai, Sultanate of Oman Television.
The Ministry of Information organized a workshop entitled Topics Related to Cancer Diseases in collaboration with the Omani Society of Cancer. It was attended by specialists and doctors from different Gulf Cooperation Council countries. The workshops was conducted under the auspices of His Excellency Dr. Abdul Munim bin Mansour Al-Ahsani, Minister of Information. An awareness message was delivered about the risk of cancer disease and ways of preventing it. In its first stages, the workshop unveiled the number of patients affected by the disease in the Sultanate according to latest statistics from the Ministry of Health. Annual Critical Care in Pediatric and Neonatology Program Symposium was organized by the Directorate of Human Resources Development, Oman Specialized Nursing Institute, Ministry of Health. More details in the following report by Abdullah Rubai.
With the aim of providing update and scientific ground related to pediatrics issues and neonatal care, a symposium was held this morning by a Human Resources Development Directorate at the Ministry of Health and attended by graduates of specialty programs in pediatrics and neonatology, together with their colleagues, nurses from various healthcare institutions in the Sultanate, to promote continuous professional education and encourage and nourishing exchange of of experiences in pediatrics and neonatal nursing and health care. Oman has managed to achieve wide national coverage of its pediatric and neonatal services and is well facilitated with specialized cadre of various health categories such as medical, nursing and other healthcare staff, supported by high standard of equipment. It's worth mentioning that Oman is among the 6 countries in the East Mediterranean region to have brought down the child mortality rate to 17 for every 1,000 live births. During the symposium sessions, various healthcare issues related to the special care required for the specialty were discussed in detail using evidence research findings to inform the practice. Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rubi'i, Sultan of Oman Television.
Royal Oman Police Festival for Athletics 2015 was concluded last night. It was held on the grounds of Police Stadium in Utaya, organized annually by Police Sports Union. 1,140 participants representing different police formations took part in this event, which was held under the auspices of His Excellency Lieutenant General Hassan bin Mohsin Al-Shriqi, Inspector General of Police and Customs. The American author Lana Finch contributed in her book Oman is Reborn in discussing the experience of the Sultan's model politically, culturally and scientifically for the world. The book tackled Sultan's ability in solving a number of international crises, like paving the way for the nuclear deal between the West and Iran. It also tackled achievements accomplished on Oman land after 45 years of the Blessed Renaissance. On the sidelines of the launching ceremony, a seminar was hosted by National Council on U.S.-Arab Relations in cooperation with the Sultan's Embassy in Washington, highlighting the role of the political leadership of Oman in keeping the Sultan stable in spite of unrest witnessed by the Middle East countries. The book as well shed light on the Sultan's success in the scientific and technological fields. The author stressed that the purpose of writing this book is to introduce the importance of the Sultan in all levels to Americans, in addition to strengthening Sultan's status in the field of American and Sultanate relations. The Minister of Manpower celebrated the graduation of a new batch of male and female students of the College of Technology in the Wilayat of Al-Musanna at a number of scientific and administration specializations. The ceremony included graduation of 579 male and female students in 6 specializations of bachelor and diploma degrees. The ceremony was presided over by His Excellency Saeed bin Hamad Rubai, Secretary General of Education Council. The activities of the 13th Annual Domestic Camel Race Festival concluded in the Wilayat of Thamrait. The festival was organized by the Royal Camels in Royal Court Affairs. The camel racing Sultan received special passion, considered as one of the civilizational and cultural heritage. The festival witnessed a wide participation and competitiveness among the participants. More than 1,200 male and female students from schools of the Wilayat of Al-Sib in the Governorate of Muscat celebrated the 45th Glorious National Day, where huge crowds of citizens expressed their joy while hosting the flags of the Sultanate. The celebrations were accompanied by Omani traditional arts, in addition to national poems that express love for the country and its leader, His Majesty the Sultan. The celebration was presided over by His Excellency Ahmed bin Nasser Hazi, Minister of Tourism.
ومعك نصل إلى النهاية وطن ومجد
This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we enter tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The GCC Countries Summit concludes its works in Riyadh by stressing enhancement of joint Gulf cooperation and role of Council states in Arab and international cases. Sultan's Armed Forces celebrate Armed Forces Day and graduates a new batch of officers in Sultan Qaboos Navy Academy. As delegated by His Majesty the Sultan, His Highness Sayyid Haytham bin Tariq Al Said initiates the launch of the journey to cross the empty quota from the city of Salalah. And State Council Office discusses in its meeting the State General Budget for the fiscal year 2016 and the 9th five-year development plan. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here in the newsroom and the studios, have a good weekend. Good night.